Dobro poledne, moi canale. Good afternoon, my channel. I'm here in Westchester Park. I'm up in this neighborhood today. I'm not riding my bike because I'm still on the mend here. Got the shoulder surgery not even a month ago, and I had my session of PT, physical therapy, or as I like to jokingly refer to it as painful torture. Yes, normally there are some tears shed during my therapy. It hurts, but they are improving my range of motion here on my busted chicken wing. So I can actually raise my arm up enough to comb my hair and brush my teeth now, so we're making small gains. Anyhow, I came over here to Westchester Park, not too far from my PT office here, to talk about something that our councilwoman, Tracy Park here, what she did last week at City Council. She went ahead and she put up a motion in front of the Transportation Board to actually have a homeless RV study done so that the city can designate areas in each district that the RVs will be told to park at, so that they no longer will be parking at parks, schools, daycare centers, etc. The city will in fact establish districts, or rather areas inside each district for the RVs to go, which is wonderful news. Although my understanding is there was already a pilot program up in Pacoima in Monica Rodriguez's district where they're already doing this. And I know they did a study during Mike Bonin, our former council person of District 11 here. They did the same study. So I guess they're going to do another study, but it passed the Transportation Committee. Then the next committee it'll go to is Homelessness and Poverty Committee. Then after that committee, if it passes, it'll go for a general vote of the City Council. And then if the council approves and the mayor signs off, we will in fact have a citywide RV program. But the first thing they need to do is to go ahead and identify areas inside of the district where the RVs can actually park. And as I'm just walking around the parking lot here of the field office in the Westchester Senior Citizens Center, we do in fact see RVs and SUVs that are parked in here, which are also parked at all of the parks across the city and the beaches. So what this will do is so that instead of having all the RVs scattered out throughout the entire district, they will be consolidated and put into a zone where they can get services. There can be sanitation for their sewage systems. There can be showers, counseling, training, addiction recovery, all kinds of services and social work that can go along for them. So again, I haven't been to Westchester Park here in couple of weeks, but notice the RVs and vans and SUVs are in the exact same spots that they were in back in May, that they were back in March, that they were back in January. So as always when this has come up, and like I've said, this is nothing new. We have had our prior council person Mike Bonin said the same thing. He suggested areas like Will Rogers State Beach and Fisherman's Village and Marina del Rey, or places where he wanted to put these things. And these were areas that were not in the city of Los Angeles, so they were rejected, although they spent the money on the studies. So we're gonna do another study. Okay, no problem. Get that study done. But every time this came up, including even Mike Bonin's predecessor, Bill Rosendahl, they wanted to put the RV containment zone into the Penmar Park golf course back then. And I've been saying this now for going on 3 decades. I've got a perfect place for you. The city already owns it. It's wired up with electricity, and it's got sewage already there. Here you go. We got another RV right here. So as we see, there's definitely RVs here at this park, as there is in every other park. The area that I'm going to take you to right now is about 1.5 miles west of here. It's actually very close to the ocean, and it's a ghost town. It's a ghost town right inside of Los Angeles that most people don't even know about. It's a former upscale neighborhood that no longer exists. And that community was called Surfridge. It was also known as Palisades del Rey. It was quite a beautiful community, and the land there is completely owned by the city, and to me, that is the perfect place where they should put this RV encampment with city services. I'm gonna take you down over there and show you what it's all about. So this is it. Here is Surfridge, aka Palisades del Rey, a little neighborhood that is just west of LAX. We are LAX adjacent. We are basically on Pershing Drive here and Westchester Parkway. This little street right here, which used to have homes on it, this street was called Sandpiper. And this entire area was filled with luxury homes. As a matter of fact, the Hollywood elite used to live in this area. Cecil B. DeMille had his house up there. The famous actor, producer, and director, over 75 films. So old school Hollywood used to live here. And as the LAX runways kept expanding, it kept getting noisier and noisier over here. So the city in the late 60s, early 70s, encouraged the people to sell their houses. They offered them a market rate for their house. But some of the people refused. They said they didn't mind the airport noise, and they loved their homes, and they loved the fact that it overlooked the ocean. Now you can see a plane taking off right there. It takes off from the southern runway. You don't hear it too much, but if you get a plane that takes off from the northern LAX runway, it is noisy in this neighborhood. Now, there were some homeowners that refused to move. So the city clamped down on them with eminent domain and forced them out. Now, these streets were open, and particularly Sandpiper Drive there started getting known as a cruising spot in the 1990s, late 90s, early 2000s. And by cruising, I don't mean like drive your hot rod car or your lowrider. I mean like cruising as in like Al Pacino's movie 1970s, where he's wearing the all leather chaps, if you get my drift. It was known for one of these spots where men would go to have rendezvous, and there was a lot of public acts taking place. So the city, specifically the Pacific Division, used to come through here with their vice squad. If you watch the old show, The Real LAPD, I think it's episode 10, you will see an episode where they actually come through here trying to do reverse sting operations, and then they had reverse sting operations on Lincoln Boulevard near Superba, near the Hoagie Hut. That's where the female working people used to be, and the male ones would be in here. Now they've got this locked up. In the late 2000s, the city didn't like the fact that there was a lot of tourists and men coming here for their rendezvous, so they didn't like dedicating resources to it, so they locked up all these streets. All the houses are gone, but there are streets. This is over a square mile. All right, let's cue the Danny Slant production team. Cue the drone to show the aerial shot. Okay, here's the aerial shot. All right, so this whole area is all wired up with electricity. It's got sewage, because these were all houses up here. They could open up this area. It's more than a square mile. You could fit 300 to 500 RVs in here, and you could give them the services. They used to rent this area out. The city used to give film permits for production companies. I know in the mid-2000s, they were doing commercials, TV shows, and films up in here. Oh, got an airport guy. Gives me a little blurb. Maybe he doesn't want me here talking or filming or anything. How you doing?
Hi, see what you doing at our gate?
I'm just shooting a little thing for my YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
I'm just talking about this neighborhood. This used to be called Surfridge,
Yeah,
and Palisades del Rey.
Right.
And what I'm actually talking about right now is in the council districts, they're going to have an RV program where they're going to look for areas in each district where they could potentially put RVs to keep them away from the schools and the daycare centers and the parks. And I've always suggested, this comes up every decade, I always suggest this neighborhood here would be amazing because it's got electricity already in it, it's got sewage systems, and they actually, and I was talking about, they used to shoot commercials in here. Even in the 2000s, post 9/11, this used to be open. They let production companies come in here, shoot. You used to be able to ride your bike up this street over here. They had a few of them open here, and now, just because they don't want to have to patrol it, they've just fenced it all up here, you know. And obviously you came by because you want to know, because you want to know what I'm doing.
As long as you're aware, no trespassing. I gotta let you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go in there.
You're good. Just have to check on you.
No problem.
All right, we're good.
Okay, what's your name, by the way?
Officer Hurd. Like
Hi, I'm Danny Slant. Come check out my channel.
All right, Danny.
I'm gonna be walking around here on the perimeter for a little bit.
All right, all good.
Awesome. We'll see you around. Bye bye. Okay, so what they don't want is they don't want trespassing, as you heard. That's a LAX World Police. So that's separate from LAPD. They've got a lot of little separate fiefdoms here when it comes to policing in Los Angeles. The World Airport Police is not part of LAPD, it's its own separate police force. Okay, the school police is school police, that's Los Angeles School Police, that's separate. You've got your park rangers police, which patrol the parks. So that all comes down to budgets and things like that. So she came out, she wanted to make sure I'm not gonna trespass. Because that's actually what started happening here. With these streets being open, you had tourists that would go in there, you had the rendezvous men that would go in here, you had some, what I will call unlicensed pharmaceutical salesmen who were going in here as well. And you did have RVs and campers. These guys were pulling in here and just hanging out here because they knew it wasn't bothering anybody, because they weren't near anybody's actual house or business. It's west of the airport. We're in between Pershing and Vista Del Mar. So, this is a great spot because I know all the homeless people always want to be near the water. They say, well, we don't like going into the city safe parking lot at 111th and La Cienega, that's too far away. Well, here you go. Now you've got an area right here, which is fenced off, no trespassing, but certainly could be opened up and managed and only allow the people coming into the city program to come in here. So, and the reason why I talked about the production companies is oftentimes, I found people have said, oh, well, you know, it's a risk to the airport because, you know, 9/11, September 11th, and, you know, you can't have that. But, you know, you've got streets, particularly you've got Sepulveda next to the In-N-Out Burger. You're literally standing on top of the runway over there, and that's accessible. So this is an area that definitely can be used. It could be there, and it satisfies the requirement of it's in the district, it's city-owned, could be turned into exactly what they want for this program. So I always keep suggesting this. This is the area that we would think they should be. It's away from schools, it's away from parks, it's away from daycare centers, and it's currently not near super close proximity to anybody's homes. So the RV dwellers, who the vast majority do suffer from the mental illness and the addictions, you know, their behaviors and their crimes that they commit will not spill over into any immediate neighborhood, and it could be somewhat contained. So yeah, she didn't want you going in there. So again, you've got this big neighborhood, Surfridge, Playa del Rey. There is still one park left on Vista Del Mar Avenue. They've got Vista Del Mar Park. It's just a little bit of the last park they left here. So this is just a huge neighborhood. I just noticed this as I'm walking back along the perimeter. They've got this sign, do not feed the wildlife. It looks like a rabid wolf and a man feeding him a chocolate chip cookie. Violators will be cited, $1,000 fine or 6 months in jail. LA Municipal Code 53.06.05. Yeah, let me point out that the Los Angeles municipal codes are also the same ones that say no stopping, sitting, lying, backpacks, umbrellas, luggage, or tents in a park at any time, and you can see how they enforce that. So yeah, but don't come here and try to feed the animals any cookies here. And I haven't noticed any wild wolves, but I have seen a lot of chipmunks. Chipmunks and squirrels seem to be running amok here. A lot of gopher holes out there. just so people know, Surfridge Palisades Del Rey is just south of the Playa del Rey neighborhood and just north of the independent city of El Segundo. It is just west of the airport. That is literally the airport right across the street there. That's the end of the runways. And it is just west of the airport, like I said, and it is just east of the ocean front, which is the last street there is Vista Del Mar, which we're gonna go over to right now. Check it out. So as I'm taking a walk back here along the perimeter on Pershing, I'm crossing Sandpiper. Here you go, you can hear a plane taking off, so Southwest Airlines. So you get a little bit of how noisy it is, not particularly horribly noisy. Especially since the flights don't run at night, so yes, if you did have an RV park here, yes, there might be some noise in the daytime, but yeah, maybe that might encourage them to, you know, attend their counseling sessions, job training, etc. Anyhow, here's the entrance to what was formerly a Sandpiper Avenue here. And they used to run the sting operations, like I said. And one of the interesting things is if you watch the old TV show, The Real LAPD.
On a slip road near the airport, Pete hangs out, hoping to be propositioned by a man. To make an arrest, Pete must witness the men performing.
You will find our actual current interim chief of police, Mr. Dominic Choi, interim chief Dominic Choi. In the early part of his career, when he was just a regular officer, you know, patrol officer, beat officer, he was assigned to Pacific District, and you can actually see him on the TV show quite frequently. Although I don't think he's on the episode where they did the sting operations, but he's there. Quite a squared away guy, very cordial person, so it's just nice to see that when you watch that show, how proactive LAPD used to be. I mean, it's amazing, because the whole show is based out of the Pacific Division, and they would go up and down the streets of CD11 here, Venice, and just how proactive they were. And you just don't see that anymore. It's a real shame, but that's because our politicians currently and the ACLU have completely neutered our police departments, and yeah, so now our quality of life, as they say, suffers. Yes. Anyhow, I will give props to our current councilwoman Tracy Park for at least putting this motion forward to try to, you know, alleviate some of these problems here. She's been doing a really good job about the homeless tent encampments and sweeping those up, but the RV problem is really out of control. And of course, patience is a virtue, but you know, we've been living with this for so long. I really wanted to get addressed, so I have a ray of hope here that maybe this spot right here could be identified. All right, let's take you down to Vista Del Mar Park so you can see what it looks like on the other side here. About a half mile up over the surf ridge, and then it declines again toward the ocean, and that's where the park is over there, where you can see the ocean. This is Trask Avenue, which basically just cuts through the entire neighborhood of Palisades Del Rey, Surfridge. Of course, they've got this fenced off, but back in the day, you could just ride your bike right through here. Cars could go through here. They only had some of the streets blocked off. So this is basically, this runs parallel with Pershing and Vista Del Mar. So, and you can see the utility poles up there with the electricity is still in here. You can see the actual surf ridge. That's the high ridge up on the other end over there. So they've also got a little walking path right here, a little nature walking path that goes along here, which is nice to see. Those are a little nature hiking path over here that you can hike along. So here's the park that they left. This is the only subsection of the Surfridge Vista Del Mar neighborhood they actually kept intact here. They left this here just to be a little bit of a park. And as you can see, we are directly under the LAX flight path here. They're gonna go to Asia or Hawaii, they'll just keep heading west, and if they're gonna head to any domestic destination. After about a mile or two, they will make a bank to the left or right and head toward that city. So this is in fact the only park in the area here. So if you did want to adhere to the 500 feet rule, then you would need to build the RV encampment on the other side over there closer to Trask. But this is still a pretty cool little park and gives you a nice idea as to what in fact the old Hollywood elite celebrities in their mansions here used to live in Palisades Del Rey. Quite the gorgeous scenic view here, huh? And that hilltop right there is actually Surfridge. That's where the biggest of the mansions actually were. But I'm just trying to get close up here just to show you the sidewalks and streets. Here you go. That's the sidewalk. That's the city street. You can still see the dashed line in the middle for the traffic control. Up there you can see the infrastructure of the old house that's there. But yeah, this whole area has electricity, has sewage. You could certainly take a part of this, which they used to use for shooting commercials, TV, and film. They used to open this up especially for driving scenes. A lot of precision driving and stunt driving was done over here. And that was all done after post 9/11. So we can alleviate those concerns of it being too close to the airport, being that it's actually further away from the airport than many businesses that are adjacent to the airport, like In-N-Out Burgers, where you're literally sitting 25 yards away from the plane's landing. Anyhow, gorgeous here. Absolutely gorgeous. So there you go. The homeless would have a gorgeous place that they always loved. It'd be their dream, which is what they want. They all come out to live in the beach community. Well, here we are. We got a beach community to give them. Then you wouldn't be bothering anybody else. And they could get their problems and we could have them all right here. So I nominate Surfridge Palisades Del Rey as the neighborhood we should propose to our council member, Councilwoman Tracy Parks from CD11. I'm sure there's other locations in CD11 that you could use, but none that this is as big as this that could hold literally hundreds, if not thousands of RVs. Okay, so on that note, it's Danny Slant here from Surfridge Palisades Del Rey saying ciao ciao for now. Remember, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, and be sure to leave a like and a comment. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, ciao ciao for now.